Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Chad and JT go deep. This is a new show on Netflix by two righteous Stoke Lords named Chad and JT. Spoilers for the title and the characters of this show that is mind-blowing, that is going to upend society and change the way we all think of how people can do good in activism, but also to discuss the truly heinous parts of society that latch on to a new cultural phenomenon known as cancel culture, which is totally a bummer, which totally upends everything that these two righteous Stoke Lords are trying to do in Southern California. How I would describe this show that is called Chad and JT Go Deep would be kind of a combination of the amazing cinematic experience known as Bill and Ted, right? Bill S. Preston as Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan, the two amazing dudes in those three amazing films. If you were to combine Bill and Ted, listen to me. If you were to combine Bill and Ted and merge that technology with Borat, right? The foreigner who came to America and exposed how much of a bummer it is being surrounded by racist people that just exude their hate all over this country, harshing the buzz of millions of people. If you were to take and combine the magnificent technologies of Bill and Ted and Borat, and you were to blend those together like interlocking fingers or a zipper, right? Or a zipper. You gotta zip it up slow because you don't want your dick to get caught because that hurts a lot, all right? But if you were to merge those technologies of entertainment together, you would produce a product, a spawn that would be so similar and so amazing. You could title that Chad and JT Go Deep. And that is what this show is all about. There are similar movies that kind of spark a creative similarity to this show, Chad and JT Go Deep. Those movies that I would say bear a similar essence, a similar vibe to this show would be the movie Bad Trip as well as Bad Grandpa. Now, between those two movies, now they both start with the word bad, which is a bad way to, increase stoke. If you were to increase stoke, you would want to avoid the words and the terms of negative connotation known as bad. However, between those two movies, Bad Trip and Bad Grandpa, I would have to say Bad Trip is a much more superior experience of entertaining humor than Bad Grandpa. I'm kind of over that dude from Jackass. I'm kind of tired of him doing the old person makeup. It's kind of tired. All right. I'm not trying to harsh anybody's buzz, right? Not trying to talk bad about Johnny Knoxville. But let's be honest. We're a little tired of the Bad Grandpa thing, okay? Let's move on, bro. Let's move on. Let's move past it. Let's evolve. Let's grow. Let's find new ways of being humorous in hidden camera shows, okay? And I think the movie Bad Trip did an excellent job of blending scripted entertainment and hidden camera fun. Shenanigans, blending those things together in a perfect merger, similar to Chad and JT Go Deep in a similar vein, blending those things. Bill and Ted, Borat, blending those things. It's all about blending things together, making a yummy milkshake to wake your day up, but not using sugar, not using toxic chemicals, using frozen fruit instead, maybe some fresh fruit juice. That's the best way to make a wholesome, holistic way to start nutritionalize your brain and your day and start it off good. And those are the things that you can experience when you watch this show that is on Netflix, okay? Because in this show, you have two righteous beach bro dudes who are activists, right? They go out amongst the people, right? They go to the beach. They help, like, bring better consciousness to the world, right? Trying to open the minds of closed off people into accepting a better way of living. Whether it's from helping to remove dildos out of the ocean, reduce, reuse, recycle, all the way to trying to make the erosion that is really going to swallow up one of the most brilliant places to party on the West Coast, okay? One of the best places to party on the West Coast. Let's be honest. Let's get real, okay? It's really going to be swallowed up whole by the ocean, okay? Aquaman can't save us. We need to save us. And these two Stoke Lords did everything possible to really put that place on the map, to preserve the area, the enclosed structural inhabitants and habitat of partiers, people that want to vibe out and have a good time. And they're trying to do everything possible to save it, right? And the whole point of this show, the whole goal that Chad and JT have, is to go speak to the people outside of California. They want to go. They have a DJ friend that's going to allow them to spread their message at one of his shows in Vegas, right? And they're going to get on the mic at this show in Vegas, and they're going to crack people's craniums wide open, right? Expose the gray matter that's within their skull brains, okay? And they're going to plant seeds of knowledge in them for making the world a better place. That is what they want to do. But no, that doesn't happen. Why? Because cancel culture, bro. Because cancel culture exists, they can't go to Vegas. They can't plant their seeds of education into the gray matters of the exposed brain cavities of all these people that are in Vegas trying to have a good time, okay? They can't do it. They've been canceled. Spoilers for this show, by the way. I highly recommend checking it out because I'm going to be talking about aspects of the show that are really going to ruin the experience of watching the show on its own for the first time. You want to go in as like a virgin. You want to be pure. You almost want to wear white linen, right? Like you're at the beach, right? You want to wear something breathable, right? Because you're going to be sitting down for a while watching this show. Even though they're short episodes, they're like 20 minutes, like an episode, it's like 6 episodes. It's almost like 2 hours long, really. Like, it's almost like a movie. This could have been a movie, man. Right? And then I could have compared it even more to the other movies like Bad Trip, right? But no, this is cut up into little bite-sized pieces for our little bite-sized brains to consume. And I don't want to spoil this bite-sized morsel, this meal of entertainment. So go in fresh. Go in virgin fresh. Okay? Don't listen to me anymore. Unless you want to be spoiled. Sometimes people want to be dirty, and that's okay too. Right? Because vegetables grow out of the dirt. So it's okay to be dirty. You can still grow as a person even though you're dirty. And you want to be spoiled. Don't let your fruit spoil. That's just a waste of fruit. But don't let your brain be spoiled either with the things I'm going to say about this show. Okay?
I want to take a quick break from the show to let you all know that there is official merch for the Ray Taylor Show. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com. You can get t-shirts, different artwork available, different designs, all on high quality materials. in all the sizes. There's also iPhone cases made of biodegradable material. That's right. This is not bad for the environment. This is good for the environment. So all of those designs that are available on t-shirts are also available on phone cases. Designed by me, sold by me. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com to support the Ray Taylor Show and promote it out in the world so all of the people in your life can see that you are a fan of the Ray Taylor Show. Now, let's get back to that very show right now.
But I enjoy the show. I did. I actually watched this show twice, and the second time I watched it, it's like, whoa. Like, I really get what they're trying to do. Like, after I watched it the first time, I'm like, there's a lot of things. I have a lot of critiques of things that they could have done better to make this show more fun. I'm like, what if they showed, like, how JT and Chad actually first met? And, like, we got to know them a little bit more and got to know their crew a little bit more. Because throughout this show, we get to see them, we get to see their crew, but it's like, it's hard to really latch on and care. It's really hard sometimes. But then when I watched it the second time, I'm like, man, I was really prejudiced going in. And I was like expecting a certain thing. And my expectations going in were like, just totally unfounded and not fair. And I think when I went in the second time, knowing what I was going to expect to see, I was like, I get it. It's just all about being positive, And plus, like, these guys, Chad and JT, they have very similar, like, film like heroes and like franchises that really speak to them, because they're clearly huge fans of the F&F franchise, right? The Fast and Furious. Like, they are part of the family, if you know what I'm saying. Like, even so much where, like, the Fast and the Furious crew, like the people that are involved, people that are members of the Fast and the Furious family, know about Chad and JT, and they are stoked about what Chad and JT bring to the game of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, they go so far as to get encouraged by one of these family members of the Fast and the Furious family, right? They not only get advice and encouragement, they get to see a family member of the F&F family, they get to see them drink a Corona. Like, how amazing is that, right? Like, miracles sometimes do happen, and they happen in California when you're sitting in a restaurant drinking Coronas, and then all of a sudden, this person who's part of the family, the family, Fast and the Furious, they sit down, they're like, I love what you guys are doing. I support what you guys are doing. I'm sorry to see the whole cancel stuff, all right? But I will have a sip of that Corona, and let me tell you something, it was crazy. It was crazy to see the Corona just going down the gullet of an F&F family member. And we also got to see, like, huge parts which people just did not really appreciate in this show. They did not appreciate whatsoever the historical nature of the sets and locations that were used in the original Fast and the Furious. Like, they were crying and angry about not seeing historical Hollywood. Well, let me tell you, Fast and the Furious is almost 2 decades old. You want to talk about old stuff, like classic stuff, like historical stuff? The first Fast and the Furious movie and the locations that were used in the making of that historical film, those are important landmarks that should be cherished. Not only cherished by the cities that they are located in, but cherished by anybody who's able to lay eyes on them in real life, And that's what Chad and JT are doing, God, I just get so fired up, And they also discussed, like, the unique balance that is the world we living in, and the importance of the schmoll, the guy that bums people out, that person in your friend group that's just always a downer, right? But the importance of a schmoll is that if you don't have that downer, you can never appreciate the good times, Because if you were to eliminate that downer friend that you have, then you yourself just take on that bad, harsh role. And that's just not good. It's not good. It's not healthy. And you see Chad and JT subject themselves to becoming that type of horrible person. It was a scary time. Like, you want to talk about a show that has some high highs, but then also crashes down. Like Pearl dives, man. Like, they caught the wave, and they just put too much weight on the front of their board, and they just went straight down. You know, they went straight down into bad area, right? The rise and fall of JT in this show was just harsh, man. I almost, like, if I wasn't already dehydrated from really raging the night before, I would have been so hydrated. If I had been properly hydrated, I may have actually shed tears. When I saw both of these dudes, both of these Stoke Lords of activism becoming schmoes themselves, I got choked up. Because it's like, are they going to come back? Can you come back from something like this? Can you really come back? Can you turn that ship around? Can you change? And thankfully, let's just say good things can happen. They can happen. I loved it. And I thought this show, to get real with you, I thought this show got really real when they both went to a therapist session, and they sat down and they were like really sharing. They were giving 100% of everything they are to each other, and really showing the world what kind of real friends they are to each other. Like, not only to the therapist, right? But with cameras there. Like, we all saw it. If you see this show, you saw the honesty and the realness that they had in that moment where they were in the therapist thing. Like, you want to talk about a show that has some moments that are maybe fictional, right? Maybe there's parts of this, I don't know, that are fictional. But clearly there's parts that seem so real. It breaks through your screen. Like, there were parts, it was so real. I thought my little LCD TV was going to break, because it's like the honesty and realness was like just bursting through the screen. And I was like, whoa, I don't have insurance on this TV anymore. It's old, okay? The aftermarket warranty thing, that expired so long ago. So let's just tone it down with the realness, with the honesty. You're going to break through, literally break my TV, bro. But they didn't, because it was a show. But I appreciated their honesty. I did. Thought it was great. Okay? I thought it was great, And they had some really great ideas. Like, they set up a whole dank tank, which was great, because they opened themselves up to listening to everybody. Like, they aren't like just turning opinions away, They listened to everybody. And some people had some good ideas, and then some people were just crying about people having a good time, which was funny that, at least there was some representation of the people that just can't handle people having a good time. Like the people that canceled them, right? Because they're trying to protect skateboarders. But of course, there's a spelling difference, but it sounds the same. I think the main problem with cancel culture, a big part of it, is the fact that some words sound the same, but are spelled different. The real problem isn't cancel culture. It is the fact that we have an imaginary line that separates the United States from Mexico, and that word is the same as the board that you ride, a skateboard, a surfboard. And they're trying to protect borders, right? The skateboarders. But of course, some people are like, what about that imaginary line, bro? And it's spelled different. And what's the problem with that? The dictionary. Merriam-Webster is probably the number one cause of cancel culture in this country, because borders is spelled differently and means different things. But when we say it out of our face holes, it sounds the same. So these poor innocent martyrs of innocence and justice, Chad and JT, get canceled because they're trying to protect skateboarders, and other people think that they're being racist because they think they're trying to like build a wall that on some imaginary line between Mexico and, I mean, the United States was stolen from indigenous people. What border? It's imaginary, bro. Can we just skate? Can we just all enjoy the world without having to worry about an imaginary line? But no, because the sounds of those words are like similar, they get busted, man. And then it's all, the show's all about them trying to regain their level of humanity in the world and trying to be activists for the people.
Let's take a little break from the show to promote The Many Faces. That's right, I am also an artist. I do ink paintings on paper of abstract faces. A new face, a new painting gets released every single day over at inspireddisorder.com. So head on over to my website to purchase original artwork directly from the artist. Also, there are prints available for select images. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com, buy original art, buy prints if that's your jam, if you want 8x10 prints on high quality paper. Also, if you're looking to wear some art, there are shirts available with original artwork by myself. Select faces from The Many Faces are also available in t-shirt form. You go to inspireddisorder.com, you buy original artwork, you buy prints, you buy shirts. You're supporting an artist directly. And if you're the type of person that likes to invest in NFTs, there are also NFTs available for select faces. Go to inspireddisorder.com now. And now let's get back to the show.
And they're also really into art, which was great. And small dicks. As somebody with an art, I'm an artist, okay? I make art, I paint, you know, and I got a small dick too, man. And they're like part of the small dong community, and I really appreciated that. For them to really like cut out a whole episode to really verbalize and support the dudes with small dong, the small dong community, like owes Chad and JT like an excessive buttload ton of gratitude because of what they've done to put the small dong community on the map as somebody who should be, you know, just kind of like revered and like, you know, at least respected on some level, you know? And then they got together and did a whole art show, which I was super like jealous of because it's like, oh, they got an art show. I don't have an art show, but you know, you can buy my art, inspireddisorder.com. But, you know, the small dong thing was great, you know, and they did a speech, and it was like a moment in the show where Chad was really challenged, right? Because he found out that he didn't have a small dong. And it was like, you want to talk about being excluded from life. That's what it feels like to be a small dong guy in most of life, because most of life is not accepting of a small wiener, okay? And Chad had an average size wiener. And because of that, he was excluded because this group was all about the small dongs and he had average dong. But I felt for him, you know, like it's amazing when you're able to have sympathy for somebody who's living a different experience than you, you know? Like, I know that I'm like way more attractive than both of these guys and all of that, but they definitely have, I think they both have bigger dongs than me. I mean, for sure Chad does, because he couldn't even get into the club, right? Because he got the small one. It's okay, though. It's okay. I wouldn't call them renobs for it, right? Because that would just be too mean, right? It wasn't their fault that he couldn't get in. But in all, I've got to say that I really did enjoy this show. It was a fun show. It'll be fun to see if they're able to do another season of this show. Oh my God, right? Because like everybody probably knows, right? They can't just go to these city council meetings anymore. They'll just be like flooded with fans at these city council meetings, right? They'll be like comptrollers and mayors and accountants for the city that'll just be like short of breath and probably like lightheaded when they see them walk in, and they're like, oh, those are those two stoke like ragers that are here to change the world for the better. Like, are we prepared to listen to what they're going to talk about? You know, I'm not really into the sunning the whole butthole thing. That was weird. Like, I don't understand. Like, that's how this show starts off. That's like one of their first things. And like, I didn't, you know, maybe it's just certain people, but mine just burnt. And then if you burn your butthole, you want to talk about having a problem sitting down for like the rest of, you know, you got a problem for a few days. It takes a while for your, like a butthole that gets burned because you're out tanning your taint too long. It's not safe, man. There should have been a warning. That's the one part of this show there should have been a warning for. It's like, make sure you don't go out in the sun too long. I guess they did say you only need a few seconds or a few minutes, but you know, I guess I should have paid more attention. Anyway, but I want to end with one more thing, you know, because the show really did change my life in a good way. And I just want to say that what's up, everybody? This is Ray Taylor, and I'm doing the Amazon Rainforest Head Shave Challenge. Okay? Yeah.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.